Last time on Dragon Ball EX, it would seem Vegeta had the battle all but in the bag, though pulling him. His overconfidence would allow his foe to heal. Then in refusal to fight this fake version of Kakarot, he would pass the torch to Goten to finish the battle. But is he ready to step up and take the helm of such a role?
The story is created by Sebliet and is part of an ongoing series. Catch up full using links below.
As the villain yells out if he plans to just stand there and do nothing, Vegeta instructs Goten to attack. You're going to fight me? That attack is easily deflected! That's right, fool. Just touch it. Good! Now's the perfect chance! Just as he gets a hold of his foe's tail, Vegeta realizes something about that ball of energy. Why doesn't it? Goten! Don't touch it! What was that? Yeah! Their plan foiled. Neither one of them were on the battlefield to see Trunks fall to that very same move. While saving Goten's life, Vegeta has in turn lost his own tail, and possibly his consciousness. Not only that, but their enemy now sees what their plan was, which reveals to him the key to this transformation. He'll have to be more careful about protecting his tail in the future. The frustrated Goten wonders where the heck Trunks is, and why is he so slow in getting here? If they could fuse, they might actually have a chance in standing up to this guy. When Piccolo informs he's not coming, that guy already killed him. But Trunks, he's dead? Back at the battle, the fake Saiyan chuckles that he knew that attack wouldn't trick him. Turns out it was a good decision not to use it against him after all. Regardless, it's like he said at the very start of the fight, none of them will ever defeat him. Reaching out his arm, he tells Vegeta to die. Stupid. He snarls Goten's time will come soon enough. For now, he's going to do away with that moron. But where'd he go? And who's that new warrior next to the others? Carrying Vegeta away from certain doom. Oob! With Goten and Vegeta out of commission, has the reincarnation and ultimate refusion of Majin Buu done anything to improve his abilities since the last time we saw him fight in Dragon Ball GT? Can he do anything against the imposter who wears his master's face? Or is this all simply a waste of time? In Otherworld, Grand Kai jams out as per usual, but is regretful to inform North Kai he's never heard a thing about the origin of the Dragon Balls. Disappointed, Kaiosama thanks him for his valuable time regardless. He'll have to simply watch how the battle unfolds from here. But what's happened? He only looked away for a second. Why is Vegeta's ki plummeted to the ground? Buu points out that Goten is also unconscious. He politely requests that Piccolo get him to a safer place, along with Vegeta. Also, does he know why Master Goku is beaming with this evil ki? Of course, all they know is that their old friend fused with an evil being. Now his only goal is to destroy the Earth, taking it in. It appears Piccolo's secret hiding place for everyone is simply taking them slightly off the battlefield. He can respect what Vegeta was planning, but someone even much less clever than him could have still imagined their foe had a technique or two up his sleeve. It was foolish for him to risk so much. It must have been hard for him to have all that power, but be unable to bring himself to avenge Trunks. Perhaps it's better this way. But now they can only hope that the years of training Noob has undergone will pay off. Goku has prepared him specifically for this kind of situation, even if no one else ever guessed things would turn out this way. Facing off against the Super Saiyan 5, Oob hopes King Kai can figure out a solution for them all soon. Does this mean he's been in communication with them? The villain grows annoyed in having to fight yet another warrior, but asking if he's ready, the Pseudo Saiyan can't help but get a little excited. Gah! You're no match for me! Hell! Did that punch really hurt me that bad? You're trash! Wow, Oob is really fast, but does he have the strength to match him? Back with the deities, Kubito-kai delivers the coffee as requested by his ancestor. But unbeknownst to him, much has changed since he left to get it. Why did it take him so long? If it wasn't for Oob and Goten, Vegeta would already be dead. Though Oob matches up surprisingly well against the Super Saiyan 5, even if the latter doesn't have the full power that Goku would have in this state. Our hero sees right through this and questions why his opponent isn't fighting seriously. What's the matter with him? Is he injured or something, or is he simply not taking him seriously? And he claims it's just that. He doesn't need to use his full power to win this fight. He may as well have a little bit more fun before killing them all and leaving here. Of course, he actually is injured. That blow from Goten is hindering his movements. Oob just finds all of this really strange. It's true that he's not using all of his strength, but his moves are extremely predictable. If his transformation is the same as Vegeta's, why are his attacks at such different speeds and accuracy? Even if he isn't taking him seriously, his technique is incredibly sloppy. That is, unless he misjudged Vegeta's own moves. Sensing something out, he believes he's got it. Hitting him with some kind of blast. The evildoer isn't phased. Actually, his abdomen feels completely better. What has Oob done? Going full Goku, the young fighter explains how he has healed him. Now they'll be able to battle without that nuisance. He doesn't want to have any advantage in this fight. Naturally, his foe looks on in shock that not only does this Earthling possess such an ability, but that it'd actually be stupid enough to aid him with it. Could this be some kind of trick? As something becomes apparent to him, he can't believe he didn't notice it sooner. The aura of this kid reveals without a doubt some kind of union of the bodies. Maybe he found a way to merge with another Namekian of this world. Whatever the other being was, he's going to find out. The Fiend plans to defuse them and see who he's hiding within that body. Since it's only a spell rather than a ki-based technique, it shouldn't be too much of a problem pulling it off with Goku's body. He's going to regret underestimating him. As the fusion of Oob and Majin Buu is undone, taken back in time to the day that Goku took his new pupil off to train. As they travel, the boy meekly requests that before they go back to his village, if they could stop to do a little fishing. He promised his family he'd bring him back something to eat. Lucky for him, Goku isn't someone you have to ask twice about food. He's happy to take a little break to get them some dinner. Thanking him, young warrior has no idea what the near future holds for him. Our hero tells him to hang on tight. A bit of time would pass, at first seeming to mirror some training he himself did with Master Roshi. Goku corrects his pupil that he's only hitting the boulder with a lot of his strength. That's not how he's going to complete this exercise. But how can he break a rock with only 2 fingers? That's all he's allowed to use, right? Alas, he'll see that physical strength isn't what matters. The control of ki is their goal. But for him to utilize it to its fullest, his mind has to be calmed. Moving a position to give him a demonstration, Goku tells him to keep an eye on the small details. And splitting it in half by barely even touching it, his student is amazed, motioning for him to follow suit. It's unknown how many attempts or days it would take him to manage such a feat himself, but the pair would train day and night. Not a single evening would pass where Oob didn't learn something new. As more time passed, Goku even snuck him into Otherworld to test his skills against the greatest heroes of history. It would be Oob and Pikkon in the finals, where they both appeared quite evenly matched. And Kai has to hand it to Goku. Oob has improved a lot in the mere 2 years they've been training. He's a very rapid learner. With a familiar bodily motion, we know what Pikkon plans next. Goku worries that a student doesn't know this technique, and if it hits, his body won't be able to resist it. Thunder Flash Attack! But they won't have to find out. The boulder training coming full circle. Oob manages to get behind his opponent to deliver the finishing blow. The announcer crescendos that subtle hit seems to have seriously damaged competitor Pycon. Before the countdown can even begin, Oob confidently informs the official that while he won't be seriously hurt, his foe will be unconscious for a few hours. And in that case, the warrior from Earth is crowned the winner. Even Goku is impressed with this outcome. Not only is that hit extremely difficult to connect with, but it's even more difficult not to kill your opponent by getting its power off. What's more, Oob didn't so much as need to see that attack twice to find its weak spot, which is a cheeky knock at Goku. Hinkai thinks that Oob will surely surpass Goku one day. What an amazing pupil to have chosen for a successor. But unfortunately, a lot has changed since his training. While Oob may be immensely powerful aside from his fusion with Boo, will he be enough to take on this iteration of his teacher? Will his natural battle IQ be able to adapt and save his home? Or is the Earth doomed to fall to its greatest savior?